Hello, it's Sonia here with the Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Wednesday, and that means it's the stitch of the week. So for today's stitch, I am going to be using a J hook or a 6mm hook, and this is a really old hook, one from my collection from my great-grandmother, which I'm really happy to have. And I'm going to be using 3 colors today for this stitch. So we are going to be using just basic worsted weight yarn number 4 here. So I have a green, like a cream color, and this orange here. And I thought for today's stitch we would do a traditional chevron stitch. I'm sure you've seen this stitch many times. It's often featured in blankets. It looks really nice in blankets, but you could also use it for other projects as well, scarves. I've seen it incorporated into clothing. You could do a lot with this stitch, and it uses really basic stitches. Now there are different ways of doing chevrons, and if you don't know what a chevron is, it's, you know, it goes up and down like that. It's like a wavy, well, it can be wavy or it can be sharp points, and the one I'm doing today is going to have more of a sharper point instead of a wave. And again, this uses very simple stitches, and there are different types of chevrons. I'm just going to show you a real basic one. So to do this stitch pattern, what you're going to need to do is chain a multiple of 11 and then add 10. And you do want to have a little bit of a longer chain because it is going to be shrinking up because of the points. So why don't we chain 43, because 11 times 3 is 33, and you add 10 and it's 43. So I'm going to chain 43. Okay, so I've got my 43 chains, and I just double checked to make sure the count is correct. Now, if your count is a little off, that's okay. I would just suggest maybe overcompensating and just having a couple extra chains, because you can always undo it. It's kind of, I mean, you can add to, but then it kind of makes it a little bit wonky looking to get started, and you want to have a nice clean starting point. So I always, you know, add more if you're not sure. Alright, so we are going to get started on row 1, and to do this stitch you don't have to use different colors, but with chevrons it does look really nice with using a bunch of different colors. So if you have a bunch of scrap yarn, you know, it's a great scrap project if you want to just use up some bits of yarn. But again, if you don't have, you know, scraps of yarn, that's quite fine, just use one color. Alright, so we're going to get started right away, and row 1 is your foundation row. So we are going to single crochet in the second chain from our hook, and I'm going to work in the back bump. You certainly don't have to work in your chain however you like, but we are going to work a single crochet in the second chain from our hook, and we're going to work 3 more single crochets. Now this stitch pattern is made up entirely of single crochet, but it just all depends on the placement of the single crochet. Now you can also do chevron stitches with, you know, other crochet stitches, but if you really want the sharp points, the single crochet is definitely more the way to go. Alright, so we have a total of 4 stitches that we started with 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in our next chain we are going to work a total of 3 single crochet in that chain, and that's going to help work on your first point. And now we are going to work 4 single crochet in the next 4 chains. Okay, so we're starting up, and we're going down. Okay, so what we're going to do next, because now we need to create the down point, we are going to skip 2 chains. So 1, 2, and now we're going to go work 4 chains in the next one. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and after that we're going to work 3 single crochet in the next. So if we're taking a look at it, so we've already started. So we've gone up, gone down, and now we're going back up. So this starts the repeat here. So you are going to work 1 single crochet in the next 4 chains, and then we'll skip 2. So we worked our 4 chains. Now we're going to skip 2 chains, so 1, 2, and we're going to work 4 more single crochet. And now we're going to work 3 single crochet to complete this repeat in the next chain. Alright, so let's take a quick look at that again. So you can see our nice points. So the repeat is 4 single crochet, skip 2 chains, 4 single crochet, and then you work 3 single crochet in the next chain, and you're just going to repeat that all the way across. We are actually getting close to the end of our chain here. So why don't we just finish this guy up. So I'm going to work 4 single crochet, 1 in each chain. I'm going to skip my next 2 chains, so 1, 2, and work 4 more single crochet, 1 in each chain. And then to complete that repeat, I'm going to work 3 single crochet in the next chain. Whoops. But keep your hook in your loop. Okay, so now I'm at the end of my chain. I should have 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you get to the end of your row or end of your chain, you want to work 4 single crochet in the last 4 chains. Now, if you do have some extra chains, like if you just lost track of count, it's not a big deal. Work your 4 stitches and then you can just undo the last. But if you don't have enough, like then, I mean, you could just work, you know, let's say you have 3 chains, you could work 2 extra single crochet at the end, but it kind of looks a little messy. So that's why I say, you know, always, you know, add a little extra if you're not sure. Or if you have the exact amount, you know, that's even better. So 1, 2, 3, and here is the last one, 4. Because you want the end of your row to look like the beginning. So there's the beginning, and there's the end. So now we've got our start of our chevrons for row 1. Okay, so let's get ready for row 2. I'm going to stick with this color and then I'll switch to my next. So we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now row 2 is the repeat for however many rows you would like to work for your swatch. So what we're going to do is we're going to be working in the back loops. So if you're not sure what front and back loops are, we'll just do a quick little lesson here. So we're looking at our stitches. So if you turn it, this is the top of your stitch here. It looks like little V's. So there's one leg of our V, there's the other leg of our V of our stitch. So the leg that is closest to you, so this one right here, actually let me turn the hook the other way. So there we go. The one that's closest to you is your front loop of your little V. And the leg that is farther away from you is your back loop. And that is what we want to work in. Now you don't have to work in front or back loops to create these chevrons, but it just adds a nice little bit of texture and it just looks really neat. You know, once, you know, let's say you have a large blanket, it looks really, really nice, really sharp. So I just, you know, like to add the back loop, working the back loop. But if you want more of a smoother look, then you can just certainly work in both loops, or you could work in the front loop, you know, however you would want to do it, but we're going to do it in the back loop. All right, so we're going to skip this first stitch here, and we're going to jump right into the next one, working a single crochet in the back loop. It's our first stitch, and we're going to work 3 more single crochets for a total of 4. So we have our 4 single crochet that we worked in the back loop. So now we're at the top of our first point here. So we're going to work 3 single crochet in that next stitch to create our next point. So there is 3 single crochet. And now let's start our repeat for the rest of the row. Alright, so now we're going to work in back loops still, working 1 stitch in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have my 4 single crochet, and now we skip the next 2, 1, 2, and we're going to work 4 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1 stitch in each for a total of 4. And to complete this repeat, you're going to work your 3 single crochet in the next stitch. And we're just going to continue that. So you're going to work 4 single crochet, skip the next 2 stitches, and then work your next 4 single crochet, and then in your next stitch you work your 3 single crochet all the way until you get to the end. So I'm going to do that off camera because my battery is threatening to go kaputzi on me. So I'm going to work all the way up until this point, and then I'll show you how we're going to finish that off. Okay, so I'm at the end of my row here. I've got 5 stitches left. So I've worked this last point. So to complete your row, you're going to work 3 single crochet, 1 stitch in each in your next 3 stitches. So 2 and 3. So we have 2 stitches left. So what you're going to do is you're going to skip that second to the last stitch and then just work a single crochet in the last. And I'm going to change to my next color. So we're going to break out the cream color. I'm not going to cut my green because I'm going to carry it up, but I'm going to finish that stitch off with the cream, and I'm going to get ready to work row 3. So chaining 1, turning my work, and so there we go for row 2. So you're just going to repeat row 2 for however long you would want your swatch. So we'll skip your first stitch and work single crochet in the next, and then 3 more for a total of 4. And still working in the back loops. Now again, if you don't want to work in the back loops, you don't have to, but I like the way it looks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we work 3 single crochet in that top stitch. Now this stitch is not difficult, but it can be easy to lose track of your count. So you do want to pay attention to that, because if you add too many, or let's say you accidentally forget to skip and then you work your 3. So a good way to know that you're on the right track is when you worked the 3 single crochet here, when you work 3 single crochet again, you're always going to be working it in the center stitch. So that's just kind of a good indicator of whether you're on the right track or not, because you could just be stitching along watching TV or a movie or whatever, and then all of a sudden things are like, what's going on? Sorry, I have no idea where I left off because the battery did indeed quit on me. So as I said before, you just want to be mindful of your stitches. It's not a difficult stitch, but just keep track. And as I said before, a good way to figure that out is if you're not working in that center stitch there, because things can look a little funky, and you can usually point that out real quick. So it's a pretty easy fix. Hopefully you're not like a lot of rows in and you have to undo a lot of rows. So hopefully, you know, just that doesn't happen to you. But I'm going to continue working a couple more rows, changing my colors. And as I said before, you can use as many colors as you like, or you can just use one color. It's completely up to you. So I will meet you back. All right, so I have worked a few more rows. I worked a total of 12 rows, and you can see how it looks with the different colors. And it looks really, really nice. I think I just did 2 rows of each color, and I did a total of 12 rows. And the nice thing with this stitch is it is reversible, so it looks great on both sides. And it works up pretty quickly, which is really nice as well. So I hope you enjoyed this stitch of the week, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.